in the Black community, and what our ancestors did in the past to not only like get what they needed, but like build that surplus um, to continue thriving really, and to build those thriving foundations. Appreciate y'all filing in. Um, do an appropriate grounding for today. It's a lovely day outside. It's super sunny. I thought I was gonna see you outside, bro.
Man, I'm about to head out. I am about to head out.
uh,
It's too hot, man. The phone would have got hot again, man. So
oh man, yeah, we don't need that one.
nah, not yet. Like August is hot, baby.
Oh boy, man. Another day. Some more like wonderful stuff to learn about collective courage, man, and
No
the
question, man.
different co-ops.
I see you posted, man. Today marks the 100th. This is the 100 years, huh? That we had the RBG.
Yeah, it's been it was yesterday actually. I'm surprised that I overlooked that, but it's only been a day, so yeah,
Still, man, that's glorious, man.
yeah, yeah,
100 years, man.
yeah.
It's happening. One of the most biggest cooperative efforts, you know what I'm saying, seen on these states, in these states.
Bruh, like, and to learn that like Marcus Garvey did it cooperatively and with like joint stock ownership, it's wow.
Big ups, bro.
Yeah, bro. What chapter was
Almost
that? I think that
13.
was like chapter 7, or I don't know. It's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it was early, like yeah, 6, 7. It was early, man.
Yeah, 7 was the all about women actually. So it was like
Okay.
I don't know. It was early on though, but whew. All right. How do you want to ground this, big bro?
Man, I think he was on a good path, man. When we got in, touching on the climate, and it's hot, but that symbolizes us, man. So big ups to RBG, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Much love. Anything else you want to add to that, man? I didn't want to cut you off, man. You was rolling.
Bruh. Um, Bruh, I hope everyone joins the Nat Ministry this this week with this weekend. And I know it's easy for me to get caught up in my passion projects and want to grind from sun up to sundown. So sacred time we're going into. If you need that recharge space, and if you've been one of the folks doing the 9 to 5, then it's also a sacred space, getting a chance to do your passion projects. I know you're going out to the flea market along with Authentic Africans, so man, I just pray that everyone gets what they need this weekend. And yeah, we continue to meditate on collective courage and how we can bring this into our family. Before this, I was talking with my mom, and we were structuring out like what our LLC would look like, and how it'll have multiple divisions where family members or friends could get a DBA, get into the association, and yeah, still in like the ground phases, but excited about that work too.
And that's what's up. Talking about it with moms.
Yeah.
Sup? Big up to the Jackson family, man. That's what's up. Y'all leading the way, man. Appreciate that.
Brother. So what are we on page 209 today?
209, man. The last page on the second to the last chapter.
All right. So yeah, let's wrap up the Federation of Southern Co-ops. They just turned 53 this weekend or this week, so really synchronous that we're talking about them at the same time.
They turned 56,
53.
53.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
All right, so it starts off the brief highlights of some of the Federation Southern Cooperative Land Assistance Fund member cooperatives, page 209, Collective Courage, chapter 9, with the North Bolivar County Farm Cooperative. Um, Starting off in 1973, the co op was described as to potential funders as a cooperative incorporated in December of 1969 for the purpose of economic development, education support, and welfare assistance, and noted that the cooperative supported a community center in Rosedale, the Afro-American bookstore and library in Mound Bayou, its headquarters, several sewing and clothing cooperatives in Rosedale and Shelby, and a low-income housing development covering 20 acres in Rosedale. Wow.
Mm.
They were dynamic, bro.
Yeah, the Federation of Southern Farming Cooperatives is not like they claim that all the work that they was doing, man.
Wow. And so North Bolivar had in 1973 424 acres of land that they planted in mostly soybeans, but they had some cotton and vegetables. According to a biographer, the North Bolivar Co-op was started by the North Bolivar County Health Council and the Tufts Delta Health Center in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, as a more permanent response to the problem of malnutrition that would treat health issues rather than just their symptoms. It was born not only of hunger, but also from the realization that growing crops was one thing that North Bolivar County residents could do well. And so they did their research and they knew what the folks could do. Like they did a skills assessment basically. And they're like, all right, everyone's for this. Let's do it. And so it was really an outgrowth of the Tufts Delta Health Center. Started in April 1968 with initial funding from the Office of Economic Opportunity and an anonymous Northern donor. Okay, at the top of page 210 now. It was also noted that North Bolivar Co-op bought 40 acres of land and rented another 80 acres from local black farmers. They put 250 members to work for $4 in cash plus $6 in food credits per day. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And in addition, members could buy food from the co-op at a minimal cost. In its first season, the cooperative produced more than 1 million pounds of food, enough to end hunger in the area served by the co-op.
Mississippi.
That's strong.
Ooh. That's huge, bro. To end hunger in that area in Mississippi, man.
Right. I can't even fathom what 1 million pounds of food looks like. That's wow.
250 hands. That's 500 hands, man. Dang. 500 hands, 500 feet doing the work, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So North Bolivar County Food Co-op was a farming cooperative, was a founding member of the Federation, and it also advised Fannie Lou Hamer and the Freedom Farm in the early 1970s. It continues to be a successful farm cooperative today.
Man, still feeding people.
Yeah. The farmer boxes, those are CSAs, community supported agriculture. And there's a number of places in Oakland where you can get it. Acton on Verba in East Oakland has an urban farm where you can get those. Black Earth Farms is another farming collective where you can get CSAs. There's a bunch. Authentic African.
Now, I think there's a new one coming up called the Soul Food Collective or the Food Soul Collective.
Thank you, Raw Soul Collective with Aja.
There you go.
Miguel. Yeah, they're doing like grocery CSA boxes out of Acton on Verba actually. So if you go to their Instagram, Raw Soul, you'll find it. Bruh, this next one is hella dope. This South Plaquemines United Fisheries Cooperative.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of history right here.
Bruh. So it started off in Louisiana and took shape after Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast in August of 2005. That was a crazy time, bro. That was.
You see, man, we was over here, and it's like, what you see, like the stories and the movements that was happening. That was around the time I graduated from high school.
Do you remember, like, folks were like literally like trying to walk their way out over bridges and getting stopped by police? I remember that.
Can't leave. People trapped on their houses, like flood. The house is gone. You just see the roof. People just up there chilling, like hundreds of them. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
All right, so when members attended cooperative education workshops that were part of the Federation's hurricane relief efforts, that's when this got started. And for generations, the fishers of Plaquemines Parish had access only to private commercial docks to buy essential services and sell their catch. Most families lived below the poverty line. All right. So it sounds like private folks bought up all of all of the coastline, and they didn't have any access. When Hurricane Katrina hit, 80% of the parish's commercial fleet was destroyed, and almost every dock was washed away, along with the women and businesses of those who lived by the water. The multicultural fishing community, surmounting overwhelming obstacles, came together to form a cooperative in the aftermath. This diverse community included African Americans and Native Americans whose families had lived in the area for generations, as well as Vietnamese and other Southeast Asian newcomers looking for work and entrepreneurial opportunity. With the help of the Federation Southern Cooperatives Land Assistance Fund and the USDA's Rural Development Specialists, the group steering committee developed a feasibility study and business plan. All right, so they did their homework. And then committee members also surveyed potential members and found that the fishers, men and women in the area, were very interested in forming a cooperative and in working together to create a more robust community. This would allow them to own their own boats and their own company. In all, 50 families joined the new marketing cooperative, trading in shrimp, crab, and oysters. The South Plaquemines United Fisheries Cooperative has earned grants for boat repairs and co-op facilities, in addition to a large community development block grant from the state of Louisiana to develop a docking facility. This community development block grant, also sometimes called CDBG, that's something that like almost every city or every county has access to. It's like federal money that gets dispersed throughout the states. And so that's still something that you can think about today and like look into it to see, especially if you got the political connections or you know that there's some local folks that will stand behind your issue. The new dock gave co-op members better access and ability to fish. Collective marketing has helped them earn a good price for their catch and allowed them to connect with lucrative markets.
I bet you know how we love fish in the South, especially Louisiana.
Yeah.
Jambalaya, gumbo, come on now. They doing well. They doing well.
Crawfish and man.
Blood.
The crawfish cookouts, bro, like those are the best. Like before COVID, it was just like a tent with hella like different like festival foods and crawfish and like boiled corn and wow.
Them pots, I used to like them competitions, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm a vegan, so I had to cruise, hang up my belt, but yeah, it still smell good, but yeah.
I'm talking about before I went in like 2009, 2010. I did a couple times, so I was a meat eater then, and I did.
Oh yeah. 2009, it's going down for sure.
Yeah. So all right, the next one is the Carver Homes Worker Cooperative, which was started with a convenience store in the Carter Homes public housing community in Atlanta, Georgia. The housing project managers, the housing projects manager, Luis Watley, had been interested in starting such a store since the 60s. Wow. But things did not come together until 1976. Persisted, it's 16 years.
Still working.
The co-op started with a grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And from there, money was raised to start a sewing cooperative to employ women owners from the Carver homes. Dang. Grants from local churches, that still happens, as well as from the Federation made this possible. Funding from a community development block grant enabled the co-op to renovate a school building for the sewing factory. Thanks. Wow.
Man, that's work. 16 years, family. Lewis Watley kept doing the work, stayed persistent, never gave up her dream, man, and it finally happened. So ain't no telling how long it's gonna take, but just keep doing it one step at a time, family. Never lose that dream. We need it. Yep. The community needed this.
It's true.
We need all our dreams.
Seeing Authentic African talking about plant-based today with meat-eating Nirvana memories.
Oh man.
That's funny. All right. So the concluding observations on page 211 for Collective Courage, Chapter 9. As noted above, the Federation of Southern Cooperatives Land Assistance Fund is the largest and most influential African American cooperative development organization in the United States. It is the only system of network co op development centers controlled by African Americans in this country.
Mm.
That it has persisted for now 53 years in both good and bad financial times and has supported major cooperative endeavors throughout the South, even when the US government and funders try to undermine its effectiveness, attests to the fortitude of the member organizations and individuals, and to the persistence of its leadership. This chapter is a brief case study of a complex organization with a long history. Much more needs to be documented and analyzed. The Federation of Southern Cooperatives understood from its inception in 1967 the necessity of Black control over land and African American economic self-sufficiency. The Southern states were then, and remain today, some of the poorest in the country. In the 1960s and 70s, African American poverty was severe. The plantation bloc and remnants of Confederate rule made it difficult to make reforms or institute meaningful anti-poverty strategies for Blacks. African American sharecroppers were evicted from their farms and laborers lost their jobs because they exercised their right to register, to vote, or even to listen to a civil rights speech.
Mm.
Agricultural and marketing cooperatives, credit unions, and legal services provided or supported by the Federation of Southern Cooperatives Land Assistance Fund decreased the economic insecurity and exploitation imposed by the white plantation bloc and helped sustain Black communities on their own terms. The Federation has also helped to slow the loss of Black-owned land in the South. Bruh. Like we saw the remnants of that too. That plantation block trying to keep the same thing going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that like in this moment, all of that shit's getting torn down.
Hey.
Isn't it great?
Man, most definitely. And right on time that we will be building and focusing on cooperative businesses and people developing their dreams. Like we need something to replace this evil, messed up system.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better. So we're on page 212 now. Dr. Nembhard is saying that although economic cooperation has a long history in African American communities, the Federation of Southern Cooperatives' efforts are particularly noteworthy. Few organizations in the South can claim to have done as much in advancing the interest of African American farmers, protecting land ownership, and building cooperative enterprises, thus supporting rural development. As Page puts it in 1992, being out there in the trenches has been a constant battle, but we are providing an alternative to the existing system. We're empowering people to take control over their own lives, which often forces change on the entire community. Changes that demand community institutions be more just.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
It is not just the organizational and economic accomplishments that are noteworthy, but also the development of the members. The leadership and skill development of the people associated with the FSC-LAF has been one of the organization's major successes. The history and growth of the Federation not only demonstrates the African American pursuit of economic cooperation, it also provides insight into the nuances of development strategy in the challenging context of the rural South. Issues of structure, strategy, and leadership within the organization must be seen in the context of the racial and political dynamics of the Deep South.
Mm.
In many ways, the story of the Federation tells in microcosm the broader history of African American cooperatives. The reasons why it was started, its goals and aims, its challenges and threats, its focus on grassroots empowerment, economic independence, leadership development, and women's development, all are elements of the entire experience of the Black cooperative movement.
Man, Black cooperative, Black freedom, you know what I'm saying? Black, evolution. Man, you know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. That's what's up, man.
Mm. Yeah. So next week we're diving into chapter 10, economic solidarity in the African American cooperative movement, connections, cohesiveness, and leadership development. Some of Dr. Nimhardt's strategies and thoughts of how we can move forward with this solidarity economy and build bridges for ourselves and for others. Also wanted to give a shout out to Umoja Lighting. My bulb went out, and thankfully my sister bought this black-owned light bulb. That also gives credit to what is this? Lewis Howard Latimer, who created
Yeah.
the element needed to create the modern light bulb or bring it past what Edison did. So you can find them on umojalighting.com or also We Buy Black. It's a good light. It's hella powerful, and it only takes 9 watts.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to close us out, bro, on this lovely Friday?
Man, you said it all, man. This is the second to the last week, family. Man, we got Black Lights. So Buy Black is a good website, huh? I keep hearing about it for all our little needs that we need.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, I think you said it all, bro. I'm excited to get outside. Like you said, we hope everybody get what they need this weekend. We will be at the market, Authentic African, Good Juju, and Maisha's Creations. Slide through, chill with the family. Man, so sad. This is the last week next week, man.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, it's been a ride, hasn't it, man? Like, wow. But I feel like the way that we did it this time was like way more in depth or like comprehensive than like the every month thing.
Yeah, I think trying to cram it in like hour, 2 hour sessions was just didn't give people enough time to digest and really put it into action steps. So this bite by bite everyday reminder, I'm personally seeing a lot of results and people moving into action, even myself. So I think that's something we're gonna continue to do. We're gonna have to talk about it, but yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I know Black Mental Health Society, Ambitiously Imperfect, or anyone else could like maybe just fill in and help do some peer learning for a stretch. Mama Mia is going to be doing it on credit, but we can talk about it or DM us if you're interested. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. Yeah, much love.